Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. A 2011 Chevrolet Silverado with no license plate on the back was stopped at the 119 mile marker on Interstate 30 by a Hopkins County deputy Monday evening at approximately 7:30 p.m. Inside the vehicle, the deputy found cocaine, methamphetamine, marijuana, 2 firearms, and 4 bundles of U.S. currency wrapped in rubber bands following a probable cause search. Following the display of several signs of nervousness, consent to search the vehicle was requested and denied. A canine free air sniff alerted on the pickup, approximately 4 pounds of suspected marijuana, a plastic bag containing suspected cocaine, and another clear bag containing suspected methamphetamines were found. Weston Davis Rose, age 38, of Chicago, was arrested and is in Hopkins County Jail charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 less than 1 gram, possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 more than 1 gram but less than 4 grams, and possession of marijuana more than 4 ounces but less than 5 pounds. The Northeast Texas Beef Improvement Organization is gearing up to hold its midsummer preconditioned stocker and heifer feeder calf sale on July 18th at the Sulphur Springs Livestock Commission. The sale will begin at 1 p.m. The consignment book has already been closed on this July Net Bio sale, but there are more sales ahead to accommodate producers wanting to market their cattle. Consignment books are open for sales to be held on September 19th, October 17th, and the anniversary sale on November 17th. NetBio directors added the October sale last year due to the increased demand from organization members wanting to sell their preconditioned calves and yearlings through the NetBio marketing system.
Today on the morning show is our first of meeting the Hopkins County Dairy Festival contestants, all 8 of them. Today we have contestants 1, 2, and 3. Let's meet Caitlin Farrell, Cassidy Winborn, and Alexis Lopez.
I'm contestant number 1, and my name is Caitlin Farrell.
Okay, Caitlin. And you had a big weekend with the parade and balloons?
Yes, ma'am.
Any great memory that you can think of?
Well, that morning whenever we, my float, the theme was pool party, and we actually had a kiddie pool on our float, and we had to fill it with water beforehand, and on our way there, the water was like splashing around and getting out, and the cars behind us were kind of like, they were just confused, I guess. I don't know.
Probably never encountered a parade float on the roadway, but everybody comes away with something that you'll remember all your life. Contestant number 2, tell us who you are.
I'm contestant number 2. My name is Cassidy Noel Winborn.
Okay. And you also had a float and a balloon ride?
Yes, ma'am. I flew up twice, both Friday night and Saturday night.
Great. What do you remember of it? What is your experience?
I remember on the first night I was super terrified because I'd never been any more than maybe 100 feet off the ground, unless I'm like in a building. I don't know how tall hotels are. I was super terrified, but I ended up relaxing into it. But the second night, it was a lot more fun, and I enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, those balloons were great. And our contestant number 3, who are you?
I am Alexis Lopez. My grandparents are Van and Mona Jennings. The whole weekend was really great. We live in Martin Springs, and it was about a 20-minute drive normally to where the park is for the parade. It took us 45 minutes to get there, and I had my balloon arch already up, and we lost several balloons. But at the end of the day, it was a great experience, and I had a lot of fun.
So you pulled the float from Martin Springs? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Did you have to get over on the shoulder, or did you get to go fast enough to stay in traffic, or?
No.
Okay.
We were sitting at about between 5 and 15 miles an hour. Yeah. It was an experience for sure.
What about your balloon ride?
My balloon ride was great. My grandmother went up with me, and she'd never been up, so it was a good experience to be able to go up with her.
Well, again, wonderful memories are made and wonderful friendships are made throughout the whole Dairy Festival experience. And we've all heard this, that even in later life, sometimes this is included on a person's resume because it's such an essential part of you becoming who you are. And you have mentioned your parents. Once again, they are who?
Van and Juana Jennings. They're my
Okay.
grandparents.
Oh, grandparents. Now we're going to go back. Here's contestant number 2, and I'm going to ask you about your parents.
My mother is Jennifer Lansu.
Okay.
And that's really
Any other Dairy Festival contestants or queens in your family?
My eldest sister, Rachel Winborn, was a contestant back in 2014. And my other sister, Anne Marie Winborn, was a contestant 2015, 16.
And so have they been giving you some advice?
Yes, lots and lots of advice.
Good. Wonderful. What about you?
My parents are Christy and Jeremy Farrell, and I haven't had any other contestants in my family.
Okay. So you're setting a precedent now, a tradition really, in your family. For this week's rehearsals, so did you rehearse last evening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you feel like the stage is large or the auditorium feels large to you? What are your impressions of being on there?
Well, I mean, I've been on that stage before for other like band stuff that we do. So, I mean, it's not really that new to me, but I guess it's new to me being up there by myself. So it feels a little bit bigger than usual.
Have you been learning the walk?
Not yet.
Okay, you will this week. And speaking of band, what other things are you involved in?
I'm involved in the Silver Springs Marching Band, Silver Springs Symphonic. I'm also a member of the varsity cross country team and the varsity track team, and NHS. And outside of school, I work at Atwood's.
Okay,
Part-time.
okay. So what instrument do you play in band, or instruments?
I play the flute.
Okay, wonderful. Let's go back to Cassidy, and contestant number 2. She sits in the middle, for those of you who are listening on radio. What is your impression so far about being on that stage, which I know you've been on stages before, and also, do you have your evening gown?
Well, yes, I do have my evening gown, and it's not as scary since I've been on it before. It is new, though, being up there alone, because I've never been up there really alone doing something before. But it's not as terrifying as I thought it would be.
Well, you'll get 4 nights to get used to that. And there's a lot of knowledge that's already been accumulated from past rehearsals, let's say. And Ms. Chase is just wonderful at coaching you, and you'll feel perfectly confident by Friday night. And Alexis, tell us more about yourself.
I have done several things on the stage, ranging from when I was very small until last year. I became student body president for Sulphur Springs High School, and at the beginning of the year, when the teachers come together, I give the speech at the convocation. So that's nice. And then I'm also a varsity cheerleader, so you'll see me on the sidelines Friday nights on that very beautiful stadium that we have now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And your evening gown, will you describe it to us?
My evening gown is, it's straight, and it has gold and black lace and embroidery up at the top. It's not strapless. It does have straps. I love it. It was a very good choice for myself.
Okay. Wonderful. And Cassidy, tell us anything more about yourself that you want us to know, and also tell us about your gown.
Well, I've been doing dance outside of school for 14 years. I am a member of the Sulphur Springs Blue Blazes, so y'all will also be seeing me on the football field on Friday nights. I am part of the high school's Family Careers Community Leaders of America, FCCLA. I've been doing that for 3 years, and that's really it.
Do you do drama?
No.
Okay.
I've done some plays outside of school, and I've done UIL prose and poetry the last 2 years. I did not get to do it this year, but I will be doing it again next year.
Okay.
but I've never done actual theater in school.
Tell me about your evening gown.
My evening gown is teal and black floral, a high-low dress with a super long train, and up near the top is kind of sheer, and it's got sleeves, but it's like kind of thick. I don't know what that's called.
Okay.
Thick tank top type sleeves, but it's thick, so it's, yeah.
Sounds beautiful.
Yes. And my mother personally stoned every middle of the flower with E6000 and rhinestones. She personally hand stoned it so it would shine more on stage.
So your mom did that?
Yes, ma'am.
Neat. Okay. So, Caitlin, your evening gown.
My evening gown is like a deep navy blue color, and the fabric, it actually, like, it kind of looks like it's silk, but it's, I don't know, it's like that kind of material. And it's more like, not poofy, but it goes out, like it flares out more, and it has pockets, but it has rhinestone looking designs on it.
Sounds beautiful. Well, each of you have been mentioning next year and the things that you'll do next year. So, of course, each of the contestants is age 17 or junior in high school when you sign up, which was back in the early spring. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when you decided to become a contestant, was there very much to do at first?
The majority of it was figuring out how to sign up or who to talk to. It's all about the connections, for sure.
Is it something that you planned to do through your life, or did somebody suggest it to you?
Do you want to know? Okay.
Go ahead, Kayla.
Somebody came to us and asked me if I wanted to do it. And growing up, I'd always like seen people doing it, and I'd thought about it, but I never really, I guess, thought it'd be an opportunity for me. So whenever she asked, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Sounds good.
It actually is a wonderful opportunity. And you now, third in your family to be in Dairy Festival, it does definitely give you something as you are growing up. And Alexis, what were you going to tell us?
Well, I actually hadn't seen any of the dairy festivals up until last year, and last year's when it really piqued my interest. I had a few friends that were in it, and they seemed to be having a great time, so I figured why not get more involved with the community.
Okay. So next year, school and beyond. So let me ask you what your plans are, at least at this time. Everyone doesn't have to know what they're going to be when they're all, finished with their educations. You don't have to know it all, but what are your indications? And let's start again with Caitlin Farrell.
Well, after I graduate, I'm planning on attending PJC to finish up my basics, and then after that, I might be going to commerce for a while. I'm planning on majoring in psychology.
Okay. And you do go to Sulphur Springs High School?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does everybody go to Sulphur Springs High School?
Yes, ma'am. All three of us do.
Okay. Cassidy, what are your plans?
After I graduate, me and my mother are actually moving on to Tyler, and I will be attending UT Tyler for college to get that out of the way. And get my degree in education.
Okay.
And I will, if possible, get a degree in photography.
Okay. What a fascinating subject. Alexis, what are your plans?
I'm currently looking at 2 colleges, UT Tyler as well, and I have pre-acceptance to the University of Mary Hardin Baylor in Belton, and I plan to go on to anesthesia and becoming an anesthesiologist.
And so it's attractive to you to go to a school that's not real far from home.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Or too large either. I'm used to the small town scenery.
Mm-hmm. That's good. It's good to sort of filter your choices that way. So now let's talk. We have just very little time left, but is there anybody special who's been helping you along the way and encouraging you, and including your sponsor, Alexis?
I'd really like to thank J. Hodge Chevrolet and the Texas Association of Dairymen for becoming my sponsors. And I'd also like to thank my mother and stepfather, Angie and Juan Trevino, and my brother, Everett Jennings.
Okay. What about you, Cassidy?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Sulphur Springs, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep, and the propane company for, as well, taking me on as their contestant.
Okay.
And I'd like to thank my mother, Jennifer Lansu, my eldest sister, Rachel Winborn, my eldest sister, Anne Marie Winborn, and my brother, Cade Lansu, and the person who will be helping me, Kaylee Durling. I had to remember the pronunciation.
Good. Wonderful. And Caitlin?
I'd like to thank both of my sponsors, Mother's Culture Club and Texas Credit Farm Union, for sponsoring me, and also my mother and father for doing everything that they've been doing this past week, because it has been crazy. I'd also like to thank the person who's helping me backstage.
Okay. And just a yes or no question, has your family learned more about float building than they ever thought they'd know?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
My dad actually, he's in Lions Club and he's in the soccer association too, so he does floats all the time. So I was really thankful for that. It helped a lot.
Another of your blessings.
Yeah.
Thank you, girls, for coming in today, and we will see you Saturday night at the pageant. Do you have tickets to sell for people to people?
Yes,
ma'am.
definitely.
Find any of the Dairy Festival contestants, and you get your tickets for Saturday night, Sulphur Springs ISD Auditorium in the Civic Center, 7 p.m.
And thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.